I was 27 years old when life threw me into a role I never expected. Guardian to my 13-year-old sister. It happened after our parents died, one after the other, in a brutal stretch of time that still feels like a blur. Our mother's death came first. She had cancer, and it was a slow, agonizing goodbye. I'd sit by her hospital bed, watching her fade, her once vibrant voice reduced to whispers. My sister would cling to her hand, trying to memorize every line on her face. When Mom finally slipped away, it left a hole in us both, a raw, aching void. Then, just months later, our father was gone too, killed in a car accident on a rainy night, his truck skidding off the road. I got the call at 2 a.m., and I remember staring at the phone, numb, thinking, this can't be real, but it was. Suddenly, it was just me and my sister, two broken pieces trying to fit together in a world that didn't make sense anymore. I work at the USPS now, hauling mail through endless shifts that leave me bone-tired. The job's relentless. Sorting packages at dawn, trudging through snow or heat to deliver letters, dodging barking dogs and cranky customers. The pay's decent, but it barely stretches to cover what we need. Rent, groceries, utilities, they pile up fast. And then there are the medical bills from Mom's illness, a stack of envelopes I dread opening. I want my sister to see a therapist, someone to help her untangle the mess of grief she's carrying. But every time I look at the numbers, I feel the walls closing in. I'm her brother, her guardian, her everything now, and the pressure to keep us afloat is suffocating. One day, something happened that shook me to my core. I was delivering mail to her school, a rare overlap of my route and her world, when I saw her standing with her friends near the front steps. She spotted me, waved, and then with a smirk called out, "Hey, there's my brother, the pedo." Her friends burst into laughter, a sharp, piercing sound that hit me like a punch. I froze, my heart hammering in my chest. Did she just say that? The word hung in the air, heavy and toxic. I could feel eyes on me. Teachers, other kids, maybe even parents picking up their children. Panic surged through me. I'm a postal worker. A guy tried to raise his kid sister, and in one careless moment, she tossed out an accusation that could destroy me. Jobs, reputations, lives. They've been ruined over less. I forced a weak smile, waved it off, and kept moving, but inside I was reeling. When we got home, I couldn't hold it in. I took her phone, snatched it right out of her hands, and told her she'd lost it. You don't get how serious that was, I said, my voice shaking. You can't just say stuff like that. She rolled her eyes, called me dramatic, and stormed off to her room, but confiscated her phone. Didn't fix anything. It just lit a match. She was furious, humiliated, and I could see in the way she glared at me, the way she slammed doors. I was angry, too, but more than that, I was scared. Scared of what she'd said, scared of how far apart we were drifting. She's 13, caught in that stormy sea of adolescence, and I'm 27, fumbling through guardianship with no manual. We're both grieving, both hurting, and yet we couldn't seem to reach each other. For days, we barely spoke. The house was quiet, tense, like a storm waiting to break. Then, one evening, she came to me, her voice small. "I'm sorry," she said, eyes on the floor. "I didn't mean it. It was just a stupid joke." I nodded, relieved, but I couldn't let it go that easily. "I know you didn't mean it," I told her, "but words like that, they're not just jokes. They can hurt people. They can hurt us." She looked up at me, and I saw a flicker of understanding, but it didn't erase the rift between us. To drive the point home, I decided to double down. I replaced her smartphone with an old flip phone I'd found in a drawer. No apps, no internet, just calls and texts. "You'll get the other one back when I know you get it," I said. She exploded, called me a jerk, said I was ruining her life, and the fight was on again. I stood there, exhausted, wondering if I just made everything worse. Those weeks were brutal. I dragged myself home from work, my back aching from lifting boxes, my mind spinning with bills and worries, only to face her cold shoulder or another argument. She was acting out more, skipping homework, mouthing off to teachers, testing every boundary she could find. I'd lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, asking myself if I was screwing this up. Was I too strict? Not strict enough? I didn't know how to be a parent. I barely knew how to be a brother anymore. And she was struggling too. I could see it. She'd lost mom and dad just like I had. But she was younger, still figuring out who she was without them. Her anger, her rebellion. It was grief wearing a different mask. But then, slowly, things started to shift. One night, I came home to find her in the kitchen, stirring a pot of spaghetti. "I got tired of your terrible cooking," she said with a half smile, and I laughed for the first time in weeks. Another day, she sat on the couch and told me about a school project, a diagram of the solar system she was building, and I listened, really listened, as she described gluing tiny planets onto a board. These moments were small, fragile, but they felt like lifelines. Maybe we weren't as lost as I thought. The anniversary of Mom's death was creeping closer, and so was my sister's birthday just a week later. I wanted to do something special for her, something to honor Mom and give my sister a day to smile. But money was tight, always tight, and I'd sit at the kitchen table, calculator in hand, trying to stretch dollars that wouldn't stretch. I'd picture Mom's face, hear her voice telling me to keep going, and my throat would tighten. I thought about taking my sister to Mom's favorite diner, maybe getting her a small gift, but even that felt like a gamble. Those dates loomed over me, twin shadows of loss and hope, and I felt the weight of them in my bones. I'm still figuring this out. How to guide my sister, how to heal myself, how to build something solid out of the wreckage. It's messy and hard, and some days I feel like I'm failing. But I want us to get there, to a place where we can talk without shouting, where we can grieve without breaking apart. I want her to know she's not alone, that I'm here, even when I stumble. Each day is a step, shaky but forward, and I hold on to belief that we'll find our way, together.